I'll go first. I went on vacation slash bachelorette party for one of the many weddings that I am a participant in this year, next year. So we went to Belize and it was absolutely beautiful. I had a lot of good food. I swam with sharks. Um, I seen, barracudas while swimming in the middle of the ocean. It was just crazy. I fed tarpanes. Um, it's a huge fish. I never heard of it, but it's a huge fish. Um, I should have. So they said that they are. I guess I'm not sure if they're on the endangered species list, but they catch them for fun and throw them back out. So I'm thinking that there's some type of a special fish for that specific country that they try to protect. So unfortunately, as big as those fish were, they don't eat them. So yeah, I know, but it was a good vacation. Went to some block parties with the locals. We tried a lot of their local food, which is mainly like fresh seafood, which was delicious. It was a really good time. That was my weekend.
We hear
Yeah,
you.
guys, I can hear you.
Well, my name is Don Daniel, founder of Pill Method International, and what I do lately is travel. And yesterday I was actually in sunny Southern California, in Oceanside, doing a podcast with you. I
in regard to negotiating on property. So real estate professionals and mortgage professionals and those seeking to buy real estate know how to negotiate in the most effective manner versus just lowering the monthly payment. And we're going to give some intimate examples before we get started. And Don, thank you for pulling up yesterday. It means a lot. This podcast is going to be fire. We talked about a bunch of stuff, and that's going to be coming out. It's going to drop next sometime next week, probably like Thursday of next week. For those of you who want to see me live and in color, if you click the link above my head, you will see our Facebook group. In there, we have reached 3,200 people in that Facebook group and growing. So if you guys want to be a part of that community and actually see me live in my office studio with no background and say hi to me and see my face, okay, with my blonde and my beard, you will be able to get on there. And then also, if you stick here long enough, we're going to talk about 10X Vets and share that with you. Brenda, we got to get on a conversation today. Okay. So make sure before you leave here today that you and I have a conversation. Okay. Brenda Dixon.
Yes, I'm here. Thank you
Wake
so
up,
much.
girl. It's Tuesday.
I'm fully awake. Thank you very much, Anthony. Absolutely, we can talk today. I will make sure to reach out to you as soon as podcast is over. Looking forward to it, and thank you.
Outstanding. Let the people know who you are and what you do.
Yeah, so I am a realtor, 32 years full time here in the Wilmington, North Carolina market, but surround, all of North Carolina I can handle. I am officially a 10X vet realtor, and I'm looking for, I took the course, the ambassador course, and I tell you, even though I had been in real estate for many, many years prior to taking that course that Anthony facilitates and his team, I learned so much about the VA loan. That's one thing about realtors. We there's when you hear VA loans, there's a whole lot of stigma out there that it may be difficult, it may be this or that, but there are so many different strategies that I learned that is now a great benefit to all of my veteran clients, and just to be able to also give them some education on the different strategies of negotiating and building wealth through real estate is amazing. So this is definitely one of the best connections, investments that I have ever done in my real estate career. So I love everything that you're doing. Thank you.
Outstanding. Outstanding. Well, I'm super excited to have you guys with us. And guess what, man? We're going to be sending some leads out there. And guess what? We're going to be going to North Carolina, pulling up to the scene. So without further ado, does anybody have any questions before we get started?
I do.
Okay, kick it, sister.
I just kind of want to know for the agents that are on the stage, what the market is looking like for you. Um, are there any programs that you are utilizing? I just want to open up the floor for both MLOs and realtors to kind of, put out any new information that may be out as of this week of, as far as the market is concerned that we don't know about. Anyone?
Don't all jump in at once. Okay.
Well, I'll jump in. Okay. So pretty much here in well, in the Wilmington market where my immediate office is located, real estate is very scarce, especially in a price point of 350 and under. It's not a lot of inventory, and then what is there, you maybe get, you might be lucky to get 800 to 1100 square feet, and for a growing family, that's not the best ideal. So a lot of families having to look on the outskirts of our immediate area, and resolve themselves that they need to be open to driving in and out of the Wilmington area to work and play and shop and go out to live, to have the yard, to have the space that they need. And as far as programs, um, definitely, especially when it comes to, um, I am about 45 minutes outside of Camp Lejeune area, and of course, that is our military town, the closest to me. And prices, though, in that county is, they can get more bang for their buck in that area. But the beautiful thing is, there are, uh, even though it's 100% financing, there are some other programs that we have in North Carolina that they can tap into that will increase their buying power. There are some DPAs out here, 15,000 and up. Just depends on their income level and everything that they make it tap into. So there are in North Carolina there are extra programs, especially for first time buyers, veterans or not. So, but inventory is situational as to where you're buying. So I'll yield from there.
I can kind of agree with that too. I know here in California, there are just from dealing with the clients that I currently have in escrow and that are I'm searching with. I know the Cal Vet program. The government gave them, I think, 500 million or 500,000, something with the 500 and zeros behind it, um, to help veterans with their rate buy downs to be able to use that specific loan program. So mm, I have one vet using that program right now, and it's very helpful. I have another one that is using that program as well. We're just still looking for her. And then also for like nurses and teachers, there are there's a pot of money for them as well. Nurses, teachers, firefighters, um, there's a pot of money that gives them, I think, X amount of credit and money to help buy down the rates because the rates are they're very interesting. A thing that I've noticed as well is that, buyers are becoming a little more, I mean, sellers are becoming a little more lenient with those concessions and helping out so they can still, collect their funds from their property. I was able to, I currently have three buyers in escrow right now. One of them just got a $2,000 concessions credit as well as all new stainless steel appliances covered by the seller. Another has gotten 22,000 in concessions and the other has got 25,000 in concessions, um, in which the nurse, she's getting a new build. So we know that builders, they have been building scarcely. I mean, one house at a time. And we know, if you're familiar with Lennar, they can be a headache, but they're only building like, in their phases, they're only building one or two of each model at a time. So it's not like a complete load of inventory that they have been building out. And so we were able to get her 25,000 and they gave her a 4.99 rate.
Let me
Just from
talk about that. Let me talk about that real quick because I want to make sure that
thanks.
we unpack this. Okay, so one of the biggest things with scenarios like this, just so you guys know, if you go to any builder right now or any builder stock, Sierra, can you do me a favor and look something up and bring this information back for me, please?
Definitely.
Can you utilize this for a good example so people can kind of understand? I want you guys to put this acronym in the chat: STUD, scarcity, transferability, utility, and demand. And the reason why we're going to talk about this is we're going to back this into what's going on in the market. Okay, I can't see the chat, so I want to talk about this really quick because I think that it's important for you guys to see this. It's very, very critical for you guys to understand this, okay? So during COVID-19, this is the reason the stud scarcity, transferability, utility, and demand. And Sierra, what I want you to look up is I want you to Google how much money did Warren Buffett invest in builder stock. Now, here's the reason why what's going on, okay, in the market for those of you who are just kind of understanding about this. Location, location, location. Stop saying that to people, okay? Because that's not what creates value in houses. Location is part of it, but these four economical things, scarcity, transferability, utility, and demand, are four essential economical things that create the value, what creates the value in properties. Now, are homes scarce? Yes, because of why? During COVID-19, if you don't have builders, you can't build houses. If you don't have supplies, you can't build houses. So we were already behind 4 million houses. Now we're approximately around 3.5 million houses short of inventory for people. So what's going on right now is these builders, okay, they're building at a cyclical pace, and it's been an unprecedented stock increase in value, and investors putting their money into builder stocks, and they've never raised this much in decades, right? So what that means is basically that if builders can't build enough and they're churning these things out, new construction is pumping this out, that means that the money is there and the demand is there for houses, okay? And the reason why we're talking about this, and I see a lot of people coming up here, thanks for pinging up. We have 41 people here right now. We're going to talk about this and break it down. Scarcity means, is it rare? Okay, Dr. Clarissa, can you Google scarcity and read the textbook definition for me? Because I'm going to break this down step by step so you guys could understand it. I think it's essential for people to know this, okay? Can you do that for me?
Sure, I will.
Okay, Sierra, can you do transferability, okay?
Absolutely.
And then I will do utility. While they're doing those two, okay, I'm going to talk about transferability. The reason why transferability is important is because right now there's more equity in houses. If you were go to the median home price of the United States for houses from over the last 3 years and look this up, you will look and see that the housing median home price in the United States went from 380 to 419. Okay. That's a pretty big jump. Okay. So in addition to that, all right. So somebody deleted that comment. Did anybody know what that comment in the chat meant? Somebody deleted it. I saw realtors in there. What did it say? Did y'all snipe him? Okay. Rent my ride share. What did you put in there? I want to answer your question. What was the question? Rent my ride share? Okay, you can put your question in the chat, or if you want to raise your hand and come on stage, I'll chat with you. But the transferability of houses, number one, let me explain this real quick, and then we'll open it up for questioning. And for those of you who are just joining us, we're just having conversation with real estate professionals so we could talk about this stuff, okay? Because I think it's essential for you guys to understand how important it is in this market as you're negotiating. This is what you're going to get today. You're going to get some negotiation tactics for negotiating for your buyers and sellers. Okay. We're going to talk about the economical things that create value in properties. Okay. And then also we're going to talk about, going into the wintertime, going into the next quarter, January, February, March of 2024, some of the things that you guys could utilize in your toolbox. And then we're just going to have Q&A for real estate professionals. And in closing, what we're going to do is we're going to give you an opportunity to partner with us to build your business around veterans. We were able to do $1 billion, $1 billion in real estate sales without cold calling, door knocking, or doing anything else, but just educating on the veteran, the VA home loan benefit. And we're going to share some opportunities for you guys to network with us. Now, before we go on with that, who's that?
Oh, I'm sorry. Keep going. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I'll come right to you, Shahid, because I know you probably have a question. Okay. So are there any questions before myself, Sierra, and Dr. Clarissa rock the mic? And I see my sister Ashley and Stack Pack came into the building. What's up? Hannah's in the building. What's up? Kevin's in the building. What's going on? Kevin is Kevin is a title person. I'm going to ask him some questions about what he's seeing because he actually sees what's going on in the market. Kevin, I got an assignment for you, brother. Are you ready to accept this assignment?
I'm ready.
Okay. Are you driving?
Yeah, but I can pull over.
Kevin,
Hey, Ed.
I'd like for you to look up. I just want give me some statistical data in regard to closings in San Diego County. Can you do that for me? Like title closings give me some stats that you want to present to the room, and I'll allow you to do that from what you're seeing out here in Cali. Now, the reason why we're doing this is because what typically follows whatever happens in California, New York, Florida, and Texas typically are the 4 states that typically trend everywhere else. Okay. And the reason why is because you got the South, you have the West Coast and the East Coast. And usually Midwest really doesn't matter as much, but those big states make a huge impact in regard to what's going to happen in the future for real estate. Okay. So let's unpack this real quick. Okay. So let's start with a question. Anybody have any questions before I rock and roll right now?
Oh, sorry, sir. Actually, I don't have any question, but I want to just share a happiest news here.
What would you like to what is it that you'd like to share?
Yeah, that is now actually currently I'm a content creator, and I just help realtors to reach out like targeted audience, and just 12
Excuse me,
hours
sir. So
ago I
one second, sir. Yeah, this
sorry,
room. Yeah, sorry about this. This room is a no pitch, no spam zone. So if you want to hang out and get vetted by us, there's a process.
sorry.
Yeah, but you're okay. Just hang out, and then we'll give you an opportunity to possibly get vetted for this space. But this is not the space to pitch. Okay, so we're teaching here, and then this is a realtor town hall meeting. So thank you for coming to the stage. But I'm gonna go ahead and you can raise your hand if you want to ask a question. Okay, so
Hey,
anybody
Anthony.
else?
Yeah,
Go ahead. Anybody else have any questions?
yeah, Anthony, this is from my Raj here.
What's up, brother? Go ahead.
Everything. So I wanted to send some information to you. And I had sent it to your private messenger. You know, I didn't want to come in and share the information, but I just sent it to you so you can check it out at your convenience, boss.
Okay. No problem, brother. Yeah, just the best way to reach me actually is, you see Ian Jensen right there?
And Jensen. Ian. Oh, Ian.
Ian and Sierra, both of them manage my schedule. So if you could just send them a private message, both of them are my assistants. So that's the very, very that's the best way to get a hold of me.
All right, sure, no problem. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So let's keep it moving. Sylvia, Catherine, thank you for coming. Tony, Sabrina, Kevin, Hannah, everybody, man, let's rock and roll. Okay. So let's get into this teaching. Okay. So let's start with scarcity. Okay. Do you have the definition for me, Clarissa?
Yes, I'm ready. So, scarcity, the quality or state of being scarce, want of provisions for the support of life. Scarce goods are those which demand would exceed supply, and scarcity can also be used to denote the relative availability of production inputs or decrease the supply of a resource.
Bingo, bingo, bingo. Okay. In your own words, what does that sound like to you?
Not enough.
Not enough, right? Rare, VIP. Okay. If something is rare, what do you think? What do you think happens now? If you know that scarcity is complementary to the demand word, right? So what does that mean in your, so what does that mean? Now, here's a question that I asked. I want you guys to rapid fire this because I'm going to ask these questions. Okay. Chef, that is correct. Increases the demand. She's absolutely right. She put that in the chat. So now think about it. Let me go ahead and shoot this real quick. Now, during COVID-19, what happened to the supply chain regarding materials coming from China? Come on, man. We got all these people on stage. Take a shot at it. Think about it.
It was all messed up. Well, but from a logistical standpoint, there were no supplies coming in. The supply chain was completely frozen.
And why? What now think about it. Now what ports closed, that is correct. Okay. Desiree and then Chef Lychee, all bad. Okay. Come on up on stage. I want you to be on stage with me because I like the participation in the chat because this is very important. Once I break this down for you, you'll understand why houses are up right now. Okay. So you're absolutely right. And Hannah, can you tell the people who you are and what you do?
By the way, my name is Hannah, right here in San Diego, California. I am a member of 10X VETS, Veteran Homeowners Club. We're serving veterans on the real estate side, helping them buy, sell, invest in properties. Excited to be part of the conversation and just enjoy the journey.
Thank you for joining us, man. And guys, let me do a quick room reset. You guys are in and winning real estate house. 39 people here right now. 91. We're almost halfway there. I want everybody on stage to unmute your mic and say congratulations, please. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Congratulations.
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 I want to give a special shout out to
Congratulations.
Dr. Ashley V. Wilkerson for completing her second class in becoming a real estate professional. And then also she did a professional speaking engagement in South Carolina for minivans, okay? BMW minivans. Wasn't that what you did, Dr. Ashley? Okay, Dr.
You
Ashley.
know what? Don't do me.
She the stretched minivan. She did a professional. She was representing the minivans, the stretch one, the limo ones.
Are you done?
Right?
Are you done?
With the V12 motor.
Are you done?
Yes, I'm
Are you
done.
done?
Go ahead. I'm sorry, my bad. Go ahead, jump in.
Thank you so much. Listen, I will post a link in the chat if it permits me to do so, or you can tap into my Instagram. But I was Sierra, don't laugh at him. He's not funny. I was the speaker for the BMW Annual Supplier Diversity Conference this past week that took place in Greenville, South Carolina. I just posted that link in the chat. Please feel free to check it out. I'm extremely honored and proud about that participation in that event, that annual conference. Thank you so much for bringing that up. And I am here to listen and learn. Yes, I am in real estate school as well, working to build a referral-based business component to my existing business. Ironically, I got a text yesterday from someone who wanted to let me know that they're putting their house on the market if I know anyone that's interested in buying their house. So that is already happening, and I'm working on that end of my credentials. But yeah, if you need any support or help or information about speaking, if you want to develop your public speaking skills, I do offer services, and I have a boot camp at the end of the month that I only offer once a month. And thank you for allowing me to be here. I'm here to listen, learn, and support the room. And it's BMWs, not minivans.
All right, Dr. Ashley. Well, shout out to you. Wanted to say congratulations. And for those of you, I want to say thank you also, because if it wasn't for you guys, we would not have gotten this partnership with Grant and Elena Cardone by coming in to support the space. So for the 16 out of 42 people who have shared this space, hint, hint, share this to your hallway right now so we can keep rocking and rolling. And then also down at the bottom, you will see a little clipboard next to the bald-headed man with a plus sign. Get some people in this space because this is a Realtor MLO Town Hall meeting, and we're breaking down the 4 economical things of why the market is the way that it is. And we're going to open it up for questioning. And guess what else you're going to get? Click right now. If you guys want to see my face in my studio, click the link above my head. You'll see a Facebook group there. Come in, pop in, and just say hello. We're trying to grow this space out. We will be going viral. Okay, I'm letting you know. I'm manifesting it. We will have 100,000 followers in our YouTube channel by February 2023. 2024. I'm going to manifest this. Okay, I am live and in color on YouTube, Twitter, and Clubhouse, okay, and Facebook. So we're doing the simulcast. We've been doing this for a couple of months, and we're finally getting it dialed in. So I really appreciate you guys being patient with me and listening to me rock and roll with my friends on stage today. Now, do me a favor. If you're on stage, there's a little bald-headed man with a plus sign, okay? Ping as many people in as you can because we're going to be giving this information to you guys to where we can help you guys grow your business. You can partner with us, okay? You just heard several people say that they're partnered with us. You already see Ashley. She's going to be one of our referral-based partners. I'm already a partner with my brother Stack Pack in the building, okay?
Yeah, buddy.
Hannah is here. Okay, I partnered with her. And then Kevin is local to California. And we're looking, one of the biggest mistakes that I learned, okay, in real estate is that I did not partner with people fast enough. Okay, so we're creating a national referral business for real estate professionals. And if you're in South Carolina, Dr. Ashley will be sending that referral to you. Okay, so for those of you who are interested in that, stick around. I'm gonna post a link at the top here in about 15 minutes on how you can get in contact with us and pull up on us in sunny Southern California. So let's get back to scarcity, transferability, utility, and demand because I still got some mod introductions that I'd like to do. Okay, Illusion's on stage. I see Stack Pack. He's going to go next. Hannah already introduced herself. I see my sister Catherine is here. Okay. And we just want to rock out with you guys today. Okay. Now, let's go to now, Sierra. You got a definition for me?
Absolutely.
Go ahead and kick it.
So, transferability is if an item is transferable, then ownership and possession of that item can be conveyed from one person to another. So, basically, transferability, in my own words, is, basically the ease of being able to transfer a deed from one person to another. We know that is the last step in actually closing on a property, is the actual recording of the deed transfer. um, transferability is important because sometimes there are clouds on title, or maybe there's a lien on the property, things like that, or there's a loan that could possibly block the property from being transferred easier than usual. And so this particular part of the value of a property plays a big role in how easy it is to transfer. For example, if someone leases their solar panels, a lot of times it's hard to transfer, and it's not hard to transfer, but it is. It makes it more difficult to transfer because it's basically saying that, hey, as a new purchaser of my property, I've leased these solar panels, so you have to be willing to take over the solar lease. Some people aren't willing to do that, which makes it a little bit harder to transfer versus someone who has paid off solar and it's just, it's included in the purchase.
Oh, you bought a big one. Okay. That's a big one. Okay. So people are putting this stuff on properties, but here's something that a lot of people don't get. Like, just because solar panels are on the property doesn't necessarily mean they're always good. Okay. And there's programs on there that the solar panels have to be paid off before transferring the asset from one person to another. But the reason why houses are good or easy to transfer is because you got equity position. Houses that went up anywhere approximately 7 to 11% year over year over the past 3 years of COVID. Okay. So that means if you had a $500,000 property, I'm going to do a little math. Okay. All right. 500,000 times, let's just go 8%. Okay, 500,000 times 8% is approximately 40 grand. So if that person had that property for 3 years, that's $120,000 of equity. Okay. So as we doing these numbers and people say location, 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 let me show you why that's a fallacy. If I have a mansion in the hood, right? Or, a property. Let's just say I had a 4-bedroom, 1-bathroom property near Disneyland. Okay. And I wanted to do an Airbnb. Hint, hint. Let me see if y'all got this real estate trivia. Let me see how smart you guys are. If I had a 4-bedroom, 1-bathroom property near Disneyland and I wanted to Airbnb that property. Okay. Now, is that a scarce property? Yes. Transferability? Yes. Utility, demand? What's wrong? What will be a challenge with that property in a good location? Four bedroom, one bathroom, Disneyland, Airbnb.
It's not usable.
It's not useful. Functional obsolescence. One, absolutely, Sierra. Okay, so that is exactly right. It is functional obsolescence because it has one bathroom. Okay, so it's in a great location, but it has one bathroom, which makes it the utility of the property, the usefulness of the property, not good. But the property could still be in demand. But, you know, if it doesn't meet those four economical things, that's a sniff test: scarcity, transferability, utility, and demand. Okay, now, the higher the supply, the less the what?
Demand.
Demand. There you go. So those are the four things. So when you guys are looking at property, scarcity, transferability, utility, and demand, Anthony Glenn II does not buy property unless it meets those four things. Okay. Now let me do it. Let me go back to who has questions or value to add on stage right now. Anybody have any questions about those four economical things that create value in property? Oh, man, we all quiet today. Tax deed, what's up, man? See you down there in the listening lounge. Man, I like Tax Deed has been hanging out here, brother. We got to get on the phone call because I know you've been trying to get a hold of me. Okay, so let's connect here soon. Does anybody have any questions that they would like to propose to this space? All right, let me go over to Kyler. Kyler, you want to tell the people who you are and what you do?
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Good morning, brother.
Hey, good morning, everybody. My name is Kyler Bear. I'm a property inspection company owner here in Southern California. Also an active duty Marine working on getting out into the reserves and going full time with home inspections.
Indeed, brother. Thank you for joining us. And hang around because we wanna see what well, I want to ask you a couple of questions. So stick around because we're gonna ask how that home inspection in today's market can be leveraged to ask these questions. Hassan, all you have to do is hit the little clipboard down at the bottom. There's a clipboard down at the bottom, and then you can raise your hand. And then also there's a little microphone. If you unmute your mic when you get on stage, you can ask your question. That's how you can maneuver around in this space. Okay, so let's see here. Brother Stack Pack, you want to tell the people who you are and what you do?
Yes, sir. Look, Anthony, I'm the one that's going to put the media exposure on it. So if you guys need any coverage online, getting yourself out there, your name out there, media placements, you know, the internet's a big place. It's kind of saturated. So I can help you figure out different strategies, different methods. And, you know, I just took it over in my lane. So I appreciate you, Anthony, 10X Vets, man. Let's put the gasoline on it. Let's keep helping. And let's keep educating because it's all about who you surround yourself with. Stay close to the fire so that way your business can have the fire too. So I love the media. I love social media. I love helping people get inside of the media so that way they can tell their story. Because if you tell your story, you're more relatable. Oh, yeah, I did that too. Oh, yeah, I've been through that too. So it's like a story through your media. So appreciate you, Anthony. You know, I'm always here. Big stack. Let go.
Indeed, brother. Well, thank you for pulling up, man, as usual, and thank you for the support. Make sure you follow Stack Pack. Also, make sure you follow him in this space. Kevin, let me know when you're ready, brother, because I'm ready to come to you here soon. Hannah, you want to let the people know who you are and what you do?
Yes, once again, I'm Hannah right here
Oh,
in
you
San
already did.
Diego,
You already introduced
California.
yourself. My bad. I
And
think.
I'll introduce myself one more time. Hey, just serving veterans. I am a 21-year, well, my husband is a 21-year retired Navy senior chief. So I'm a 21-year Navy spouse, right? And just serving other vets. Love the space. Love what we're talking about today.
Outstanding, Hannah. Thank you for pulling up. Aluja, what's up, brother? How you doing, man? Aluja.
No, sorry, trying to get to the mic here. I was up on the go here. How's everyone doing here?
Good. How can we help you win in real estate? Welcome to the space.
Here to support at this time. I'm actually on the go. If I have any questions, I'll post them later on. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you for pulling up. Really appreciate you guys. Do me a favor right now. I want to know where you guys are checking in from in the audience right now. Where are you checking in from? We want to know if you're a realtor Check this out. Here's the deal. If you're a real estate professional, you're a real estate investor, okay, or you're a mortgage professional, okay, rep your state in the chat. We want to see who's here in the space today. Rep your clique, man. Put where you're located at, where you're representing at, okay? All right, we got Illinois in the house. Kim Perkins, we see you. Who else? Who else is in the building? Let's see who else is in here. Bay Area. We got Chef Alicia in the building. Shout out to you. Boca Raton, Florida. Shout out to Andrea in the building. North Kakalaki in the
What is
building.
wrong with you today is the question.
We got Kentucky in the building. We got London, UK in the building. We got Las Vegas in the building. We got Palm Beach, Florida in the building. I freaking love it, man. I'm turned up, man, because I had a great weekend. I got to spend some time with the kids. And guess what, man? I got 40 winners in the Winning Real Estate here house today, man. I just want to rock out, man. Who has some value to add? I'm going to open up the mic right now. Who has value to add to the conversation? In recap, we talked about scarcity, transferability, utility, and demand. We're going to unpack that a little bit more. And then next, we're going to talk about some negotiation strategies. So stay tuned for that. Jessica, Tony, Vegas, Tax Deed Wolf, Darrell. Thank you guys for pulling up. Really, 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 really appreciate you guys being in the building.
I have a question.
Who I have an answer.
I am Dr. Clarissa J. I am a 20-year educator who's also a brand new real estate investor. And I have a question about identifying my first property and functional obsolescence.
Yes, ma'am.
So as I kind of look through the inventory, the very scarce inventory that there is, what role should functional obsolescence play in my screening process? I know bathrooms is what most people talk about, but are there other considerations as far as like era and what else should I be considering?
That is a magnificent question. Anybody on stage want to jump in before I slam dunk that alley-oop? Okay. Anybody want to jump in? Okay, excuse me. Okay, functional obsolescence. Okay, so Kyler, are you here? Let's rock and roll, man. I'll rock out with you. Kyler?
Yes, sir.
I'm here too, Anthony. No worries.
Okay, Sierra, let's rock out. Okay, so functional obsolescence. Okay, so Sierra, can you do me a favor and Google that so people know what it is? Let's give the textbook definition first. And
Okay.
Kyler, why don't you talk about some of the things that that you see with properties that are non-functional? Just give a couple of them and then we'll go through these as you're investing in real estate as a new investor. Some of the things that you should be looking for, we're going to put them in the chat. But Kyler, rock out. You got the mic, brother.
I would say probably the first thing that comes to mind and the biggest, most common thing I see, especially with like the older homes in LA and Orange County, is no like heater or air conditioner due to the age. They had the old wall heaters that only heated up, an area of the house, not each room like they're supposed to. And now people are going through, putting in wall air conditioners and stuff to keep those homes comfortable.
That's a big one. Okay. Now, here's a little bit of real estate trivia for you professionals. Let's see if you're going to get it right. Okay. Why does a home need to have, okay, let me ask this question. Does a home need to have air conditioning?
No.
Okay.
Depending on what state you're in.
They just passed it in LA that all the houses got to have air conditioning in them now.
Okay. All right. So that's good. So that air conditioning is not necessarily a need in all houses, but it is. They're starting to push it. Why heat over AC?
So people don't freeze to death.
So people don't freeze. You can be hot as hell, but you don't want to freeze to death, right? Being there burning up, cooking.
In Rhode Island, it's a big deal for pipes in the winter.
That is correct. Freezing pipes. Okay. So as we go through these things, and then now what usually happens during time, okay, over time, typically rules change regarding the materials and stuff utilized for building property, right? Kyler, what is the electrical system that used to be put in the older houses that they look for now within home inspections?
The knob and tube wiring, and then aluminum wiring as well.
Bingo. Can you explain that and explain why it's important?
So knob and tube wiring, really it's just based off the age of it. There was no ground wires for the equipment, and a lot of the houses weren't even grounded, until the 60s or 70s. And then it's also a fire hazard with insulation getting in contact with the wires. And then for the aluminum wiring, the wiring itself isn't so much a danger, but it's the connections that, the receptacles or the light switches where they don't have a good connection, and that aluminum expands and contracts as it gets hot and then becomes a fire hazard.
Bingo. So what do you think you might want to do before you buy a property? Before you actually close on a deal, okay? Get a freaking home inspection, okay? And now the two people that you're gonna need is that the home inspector is gonna check these fundamental things: plumbing, heating, air, electrical, foundation, and roof. He's gonna pick on a bunch of things. These are the most expensive things to fix unless you're doing a ground up build, which will be framing will be added to that. But these are some of the things that are the most expensive things to correct in homes, especially foundation. Foundation is a huge one, right? And usually if I was to go in order, it depends on what it is, but foundation that is a big no-no because you have to disclose once you fix foundation. And if the foundation is bad, typically you're going to have roof issues, wall issues, because if everything is messed up on the bottom, then the structure and everything else gets messed up. Kyler, I'd like to pick on you for a couple of minutes, man. Can you add a little value to that? And guys, listen, you have a home inspector right now that you guys get to ask questions to. Okay, and this is going to go to negotiations. Put a 1 in the chat if you guys are liking the structure of this room, because we want to unpack this stuff for you guys. And Sierra, flash your mic or just say, I got it, and I'm ready to kick it like a sensei with the with talking about the actual functional obsolescence. Go ahead, jump in.
Yes, I have it. So functional obsolescence is basically the reduction of an object's usefulness or desirability because of an outdated design feature that cannot be easily changed or updated. Um, like you said, the biggest usefulness one that I've seen here in California is the bathrooms. Like if it's 4 bed, and I actually sold a 5 bedroom, 1 bathroom, and it was a little hard. We had to really make some price improvements for it because a complete family of 4 people with only 1 bathroom. We had to include how and where they could, there was already plumbing to add an additional bathroom. It was just a lot. So that is what functional obsolescence is. Another one, like you said, in some places, AC is just a non-negotiable for certain people. I'm one of those people. If there's
You don't like to be musty. You don't like smelling like the little cheeseburger onions. They're Sierra, them little mini
absolutely
onions
not.
and from McDonald's.
Absolutely not. And so then there's also, I know another big one is the washer and dryer connection. No one ever thinks about that, but there are clients. That's the first thing. There has to be a washer and dryer connection. Some houses, some condos, even townhomes do not have them. But say maybe the community may have a washer and dryer if it's like a townhome or a condo. And then certain houses, maybe, there may be a laundry mat down the street. Some people are just not, they don't want to deal with that. And I completely understand that. So that's another functional. That's not a big one, but most people they expect to have one. But there are properties that do not have, washer and dryer connections or enough bathrooms or, there's always something that's very interesting that could make kind of turn people off. But I think the biggest one is, how useful it is, especially, with bathrooms and such. people get into more material things like maybe if they, you know, those wooden walls that they used to make way back in the day.
Oh yeah,
Some
wooden walls
people
in the old school
still,
house.
yes.
Oh man, that's old school. And let me go over to Tunde on Twitter Spaces. Tunde, I see you have your hand raised. What question do you have of value to add that you'd like to ask? Tunde, yes, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, Anthony. Thanks for letting me talk. I have a question for you.
Yes.
I'm a real estate investor, and I'm
One
trying.
second. Can y'all hear him on Clubhouse?
Yes, he's coming through.
Okay, good. Magnificent, man. We finally got this thing rocking and rolling. Okay, go ahead, brother. What you got?
So, I'm a real estate investor, and I'm trying to get into multifamily.
Sure.
But one thing I've experienced in the past is that it's kind of difficult to get into multifamily because number one, I think those owners tend to hide some things from you, and later down the line you get to see those things, you know. From your own experience though, which investment is easy to get into? Should I stick with single family or should I get into multifamily?
Oh man, this is a tough one. Okay. Let me think about this. I'm going to give you my personal experience. I'm only going to speak from what I know, okay? Get into the investment strategy that you're comfortable with and scale from there. I started with single family homes. Okay, I have a multi-unit in Nashville, Tennessee, Davidson County. Okay, that is a 12 unit. And my net income is around $46,000 annually after paying all of the bills. And then I have a single family home in California that I get $49,000 from. Okay, so I can scale and create more money from a multi-unit than I can from a single family home. And let me give you an example. Just think about this. If I got 12 units, right, and I raised the rent $100 on 12 units, how much money is that? $1,200, right? So I just increased my my net income by $14,400 just by raising the rent on each unit, right? And then another benefit from, you have additional ancillary pieces with multi-units that you can do, like charge extra money for premium parking. If you have multi-units with common areas, you can do late night common areas like gym and pool, if that's in the community. You can do a multitude of things. And then you can also do luxury units and still continue to cash flow as tenants move out, right? So you might not make as much money with a multi-unit because you have tenants moving out, but you still have revenue stream coming in from a multi-unit versus a single family home, where when you have somebody that's not in, then you can do different things, right? And Kyla put in another thing like charging stations that you can have for people who have electric cars that you could charge for. In addition to a multitude of other things, washer and dryer, charging, vending machines. You could do all types of stuff with multi-units, right? So there's pros and cons to both. But I highly suggest that to diversify, because, but the only thing also is that the management is a lot more difficult for, tenants moving out, right? But then, if you got one tenant in a single family home, and they're not paying rent, then you have a issue there. So, and I've also seen situations where multi-units, multiple tenants are complaining about the same thing, right? So, what could put pressure on your property manager. So, if I was to just tell you, do you have any multi-units right now, Tunde?
No, I'm trying to get into one. I'm looking into buying one in Canada. But
Okay.
I have a question for you. I have a follow-up question for you right there. I've gone into so many negotiation, and they tell me currently we are below rent market rates, meaning the rents the tenants are paying are below market rate. When you take over this property, you can increase it, or when they move out, you can increase it. But one thing I think would impact this whole negotiation is that these tenants are used to freebies. You know, they are used to paying a certain amount of money, right?
Right. Uh-huh.
You know, how do I buy this property and have this assumption that would increase the rent? Again, there's law in place that I can't increase up to certain amount.
That's a great question. Okay, so now it sounds like you have a property manager that's paying under market rent. I would definitely get the property up as you vacate, because typically people would get that rent increase, and if they don't, then move them out, and then once they move out, increase that property value by doing maybe like a small rehab. You know, I'll tell you what, man, the demand for properties, I'm gonna tell you how you get money out of put a 1 in the chat if you want me to tell you guys how to really get money out of single family homes or multi-units. I'll tell you right now, very simple things. Put a 1 in the chat if you want to see how to get a higher demand out of single family homes and multi-units. Here it is. Here we go. Number 1, take the carpet out and put vinyl plank flooring. Okay. All right. Spend a little extra money to upgrade that property, because vinyl plank flooring, the looks of the property is going to be a higher demand. Number 2, put better looking appliances, and then make the property more modern. And and number 3, hire for a professional photographer to take the pictures of the property. That way, when you are marketing the property, you have it looks visual of what it is. These are 3 simple things that you guys could do. And when you take the carpet out, it's gonna make the property look a lot better. Because how many times, put a 1 in the chat if you saw apartment complexes or anything else that you saw that the property looks like the person just moved in there and slapped some paint on the wall. Okay, we see it time and time again. Once the property looks a little bit more upgraded or a little bit more swagooed out, now is it gonna be a little bit more cost to the property? Absolutely, unequivocally. But you could demand more money from it if you increase the value. Now, one thing that I would tell you, Tunde, while you're negotiating on this property or you're doing things to this property, never underwrite the property of what a multi-unit off of what you think the property can do. You need to know how to underwrite, brother. Okay. And what I mean by that is know your numbers. You don't want to overextend yourself and get yourself in a deal and you don't know the capitalization rate or the net operating income. Once you understand how to navigate through these numbers, and I'll tell you a couple of things that you should have. Number 1, net operating income. Understand that math. Number 2 is going to be what is the maintenance schedule? This is a big one. Getting the maintenance schedule of the last 24 to 48 months, because if you are getting a multi-unit and you don't know these numbers, you can find yourself in some big trouble. Okay, and then understand how to do the capitalization rate. These are 3 fundamental things. You're like 90% of underwriting the property before purchasing in it. But this is what I'm going to ask you to do on Twitter Spaces. Send me a private message in Twitter, and then I'll help you underwrite that property. Okay, if you click on my profile and send me a private message, you and I will hop on a quick free strategy call to see where what you can do. Did I pour into you, brother? Did I answer your question?
Absolutely. I would send you a quick message. Thanks so much.
Outstanding. Does anybody have any questions on stage right now that they'd like to propose to the space? Any questions? Dr. Clarissa, did I answer your question though about the property?
You did. Functional obsolescence, yes.
Outstanding. Anybody else have any questions or any value to add on stage right now before I do a quick room reset? Okay, Jerry, Andrea, OJ, I see you. Okay. Yep, OJ, you already know, bro. Spitting straight fire. Man, people don't understand this information, man. People be charging for this stuff, man. So if you guys got questions, you better come up on stage, because I wouldn't be able to just kick it off the top of my head if I didn't know what I was doing, okay? And the reason why I like real estate, guys, listen, you got to know how to talk to people about negotiating in this market, because if not, if you're a salesperson or a mortgage professional and you don't understand how to negotiate, because that's what we're going to talk about. Everybody right now put negotiation in the chat, okay? Because we're going to give you 2 examples of how to negotiate properties when you're buying the property. This is very, very essential. Versus lowering the purchase price. Put negotiation in the chat right now as I'm resetting the room. Realtor MLO Town Hall meeting, 10X Vets Explain. Right now we're at the top of the hour. I'm going to change the link. If you guys haven't joined the Facebook group, get your astronomical self. Hit that link above my head. Join the Facebook group because in there I kick it like a sensei, give you guys information that you guys need, okay, in order to win in real estate. And Thursday, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, I will be going over the VA Loan Masterclass, and we're going to go through how you can partner with veterans, okay? So if you guys want to know how you can partner or build your business around veterans like we did, able to get this deal with Grant and Elena Cardone, put a 1 in the chat after you have joined the Facebook group. I want to know who's actually done it. Put a 1 in the chat after you hit the link above my head, join the Facebook group so we can help you guys win in real estate. Done. Kyler, I got you. Thank you. Okay. And Diana, Daryl, Vegas, Jessica, thank you guys for participating because guess what? If you guys want to learn from us, support us. Okay. All right. So how do you do that? Join the Facebook group, and I'm going to change this link out to 10X Vets so you guys could get involved. Are there any questions on stage regarding so far what we talked about? We talked about multi-units. We talked about single family homes, some of the differences, and we talked about how to negotiate multi-units. Now we're going to talk about 2 negotiation tactics versus lowering the purchase price, and then we're also going to land with the 10X Vets and how to get involved. Any questions? Any questions? Anybody have any questions? Any value to add on stage? Anybody want man, where y'all at, man? Wake up. Okay.
I got something
I
for
did
you,
want
Ann.
to circle back to something that we were talking about earlier, Anthony. So you asked about Warren Buffett's investments into builders, and he's invested a little over 800 million into builders. And so that I think that is huge because that explains a lot of things because builders have their own lenders, and which if they have all of these investments that could help them lower the interest rates for the lenders that they own, it all makes sense of why it would be easier to give out these incentives to people that are looking to purchase a new home. I'll land there.
That's straight fire, man. Y'all might want to figure out what stock he invested in, gone and get a couple of those pennies, rub them together, and invest. All right. I think I'm getting my voice back. How do I sound, y'all? You will not win in real estate until you share the space. My voice sound good? Am I taking an L right now?
You taking a L.
Oh, man, come on, man. Y'all know y'all like the sound of my voice. All right. So who's in the building, man? What else do y'all want to talk about? Y'all get to ask any question, man. Y'all, yeah. What's the deal, man? The hand raising is turned on. Does anybody have any questions? Here's what I'm going to ask you guys to do for the last hour. Okay. Who's that? Who wanted to jump in? Is that Don, the pill method?
Yes. Yes.
What's up, brother?
So,
What's the question?
so yesterday, you've heard me say it before, but yesterday, did you actually see and feel the difference between interest rate and interest cost?
Ooh, man. Okay. Can anybody right now tell me the difference between interest rate and man, we got all of these real estate professionals. What is the difference between interest rate and interest cost? Anybody know?
I can take a stab at it.
Sierra, don't do it. Don't do it, Sierra. You about to take a
I
loss.
want to.
Oh my God, Sierra about to take a loss. Go ahead.
Because when I think of interest cost, it's kind of like how much is it costing this financial institution to lend out this much money? Like, how much is it really costing them? We know that the interest rate, on them actually lending money is for them to make money off of lending money, but there is a cost to actually lending out money. And so that's what I would assume that is versus just, interest rate is how much money they are making off of you to lend you this money.
Oh my God. Sierra, guess what? You got that question absolutely wrong, Jack.
I tried.
Oh man, 2 thumbs down for Sierra. I try to save you, sister, because I didn't know it either. All right, Don, can you go ahead and kick it, man? Because Don asked me the same thing, man, and I was like this. So what happened was the cost of the interest minus and subtract 11 plus 2 is 12, and he was like, "No, that ain't it." So I actually learned something yesterday. So Don, can you go ahead and kick it and tell us the difference?
Well, you gave me an interest rate yesterday, Anthony, of 6.125.
6.25.
6.125.
6.25.
6.25?
Yes. Okay. I'm going to
All
put
right.
this scenario in the chat. $500,000 purchase price. We're going to give 2 scenarios. So follow me with this. But before we do that, listen. Okay, we're not just gonna y'all not just gonna get away without supporting this space. If you guys want to know the difference of how you can save $161 a month, almost $50,000 of interest payments on your mortgage, I need 10 people in the listening lounge to raise their hand right now. We're not going to do it now, Don. I got 4 people that got their hand raised right now. Sasha, Steven, Dwayne. Okay. I need some hand raising right now. Ursula, Leah, Diana. I need at least 10 people I need 6 more people to raise their hand in the listening lounge and get on stage. You do not have to speak, but what this does for us is that when you get on stage, it helps us grow this space. Okay. It helps us grow the space. We're going to give you an example of negotiation tactics, but we're not just going to give it to you just by coming in here taking notes so you can open up your own room and say you learned it on your own. So I'm inviting you guys to stage. You don't have to speak, but we are going to give you 2 examples, 2 solid examples. Okay, I need 4 more people to raise their hand in the listening lounge and come on stage and park your avatar. You do not have to speak. We just need you on stage to help us grow this space out because we're almost at our 200 winners in the Winning Real Estate House. And for those of you who have a little red ticket as we're waiting on those 2 more people, if you hit the win in real estate at the above your head, you will be able to join our movement. Okay. We are almost at, we're like 60 more people from hitting the 8,000 members in the Winning Real Estate House. So do me a favor, hit this house. If you guys enjoyed this conversation, hit that house. We're going to be doing this Realtor MLO Town Hall meeting every single week. I've committed myself to doing this and giving you guys little tips on how we built our empire. But we're going to ask you guys to come on. Okay, we just hit the 10, guys. All right. So moderators, can you help me bring the people up on stage? Ellis, come up, brother. Oh, Ellis is already on stage. Let me make Ellis a moderator. Good to see you, man. Thank you for coming in here and supporting all the time. It really, really means a lot. And I see my sister Leah down at the bottom. I don't know why you hanging out down there. Come on up. I see Jamisha just came in the building. What's up, Jamisha? Good to see you. Okay. So let's go ahead and unpack it, Uncle Brother Don. I almost called you Uncle Don, bro. Brother Don. Go ahead, jump in.
All right, Anthony. So when you gave me that, we pointed out some things, and I pointed out to you since the interest rate was 6.25 on $500,000. We also pointed out that the total interest paid over 30 years is going to be $608,000. $608,292.
Okay, wait.
And so
Wait 1 second. I want to make
yes.
sure that everybody understand this because Don be going, he be going faster than a minivan dropping the kids off for their first day of school so the parents can relax. Okay, so we gotta really, really unpack this. Okay, here's the deal. Okay, interest rate is I'm putting it in the chat. $500,000 purchase. 30-year fixed amortized loan at 6.25. Now, Sierra, can you Google amortization schedule? Because we want to make sure that you guys understand what this is, okay? All right? And this document, before you sign your loan docs, okay, you get what your payments and interest are over the length of the loan, but they don't give you a certain thing. I'm going to let Don talk to you guys about this, but I want to show you guys two scenarios of and examples of why this is important. So that means that if I am doing a $500,000 purchase on a property, which is approximately about $80,000 more than the median home price in the United States, okay? And we're going to pay, if we paid that month to month for 30 years, okay, that means that we're going to pay $500,000 towards principal and how much towards interest, ICE?
$608,292.
Okay, so how much would my total amount be if I paid this monthly payment for 30 years?
Your total purchase price for this home, for your $500,000 home, is $1,108,000.
Y'all got that?
$1,108,000.
So this is the reason why we're telling you guys. Put a 1 in the chat if you understood that. Put a 2 in the chat if you're confused. I want to make sure you got this. Put a 1 in the chat if you understand this. Put a 2 in the chat if you want him to break it down even further. That means that my purchase price, my principal payment. Okay, everybody put PITI in the chat. Okay, Perkins, Kim Perkins, and OJ, I see you. Let's break it down even further. I'm going to explain it. And brother Ice, I want you to help me, okay? All right, okay. So the principal payment, that means my actual loan amount. I see a house, I like it, I write an offer, the property is $500,000. My interest rate that I get pre-approved for is at 6.25 30-year fixed loan, okay? That means that if I pay for 30 years, my monthly payment of principal and interest, we're not going to go taxes and insurance. We're just going principal and interest. Your principal is what you buy the house for. Your interest is what the bank charges you to borrow that money over the 30-year period. Okay, that's what principal and interest is. Okay, interest is the cost of borrowing money. Principal is what you finance the property for. Y'all got that? Okay. Now,
Anthony.
Yes, sir.
I've said it many times, but I heard it again this weekend in a seminar I was in. And interest is rent on your money. Interest is the rent you pay to borrow money.
I like that. Okay, so rent is I can't even say it, man. You said rent is the
interest.
Interest is the rent you pay to borrow money.
Yep, that's it. Interest is rent on money.
That is
You're
correct.
Renting money. You're renting money.
So, and essentially what that means, guys, is listen, okay? We're not trying to insult anyone's intelligence, but we have to break this down so where everybody could understand it, okay? I am only breaking it down to where I could understand it, okay? So that means if you give me $500,000, okay, I'm going to charge you an extra, let's just say a certain amount of money per month to borrow that money. I don't want just my money back. I want to give you extra money to borrow the money that I'm borrowing. That's what interest is. It is the cost of borrowing money or interest on your money, essentially. Okay. You're borrowing the money. Okay. If I borrow money, they want to make money for lending you the money. Simple. Okay. Now let's go back to this thing right here. So that means that over a $500,000 loan, if I keep this house for 30 years, I'm going to add that $608,000. You're paying more interest than you pay for the property.
Isn't that something? Now, that's what I'm talking about. The interest rate may be 6.25, but the interest cost is $608,000. That's what I mean by interest cost.
Now let me pause right here because this is gonna make some people mad. Okay. All right. So watch this, guys. All right. So you're borrowing money. Okay. Now, do you think that the bank is going to watch? If you lent me $500,000, what happens if I pay them? Let me show you the reason why this is structured this way so people can understand. Why? Here's a bit of real estate trivia real quick. Why wouldn't they want you to pay off your property before the interest? That's a trick question. Let's see if any of these people, anybody on stage, I want you to take a stab at this. Why would they want you to pay off your property before paying off the interest?
Because the bank likes making money. They're loaning this out and giving you the value of having $500,000 to buy the house, and they like getting that return on their investment.
That's a good way to put it. Anybody else want to jump in? Why does the bank not want to pay your principal balance off before the interest?
Oh, you said you asked. It sounded like you asked something different, Anthony. But that's because they are making the money off of the interest that interest rate that they gave you, the interest cost, I think he said, or rate cost. So that is their money that they're making off of allowing you to borrow $500,000. So yeah, I'll give you. It's like saying, "Hey, Anthony, here's a $500,000, and I'll give it to you at this interest rate, knowing that I'm going to get my $500,000 back plus $600,000 back based off of the interest rate I gave Anthony."
If the principal is bigger, they get more money.
Man, this is a good one. All y'all taking L's right now.
I
Oh,
It depends
man.
on what they could lend the money out.
Two different questions.
No, this is an easy question.
Ellis just got it right.
Okay,
It
Ellis,
depends on what they could. So if the interest rate is high, the prevailing rate is higher now than it was when they lent the money out to you, they are incentivized for you to pay that off early. If the rate that they lent to you is higher than the prevailing rate that they can rent to today, they want you to keep it.
Now, see, let me break this down even further. Now, Brother Don, can you show them how much principal payment they're paying over, versus? Can you give them an example? We're going to give you a mathematical example of how much money your money goes towards the principal payment. This is gonna disgust you once you see this. Okay, are you ready, Don?
Here you go. On that very first payment, so your payment on this is $3,078.59. If you have something to write with, write it down. If you don't, put it in the chat.
We're putting it in the chat right now. $3,078 monthly payment, and how much change?
$3,078.59.
59 cents. Okay, so this is your principal and interest payment. Put a 1 in the chat if you guys are with me. Okay, put a 1 in the chat if you guys are with me. $500,000 property. Okay, 6.25 30-year fixed interest rate. Your principal and interest payment is going to be $3,078.59. Okay, go ahead, keep going.
So on your very first payment, because your whole goal is to pay off the loan, right, Anthony?
That is correct.
Okay. Well, here's how much money of your money went to pay down your loan. $474.42. That's how much money went to pay down your loan. That's what that went to principal.
474 what?
$474.42. That's how much went to principal.
Now, Brother Ellis, I want you to do something for me, okay? Let's go back to this. Okay, so follow this math real quick. Now, I want you guys put a 1 in the chat if you got your calculator out, because this is why we have these conversations, because you guys are going to learn something. Matter of fact, I need 10 more people to raise their hand in the listening lounge. We can't be giving this information without them sharing this space now. Let me go ahead and do a quick room reset, because we're going to break this down. And this is going to be a slap in the face, man, when y'all see how the banks are getting over with how they're leveraging you, lending you money. Okay. And we're going to show you negotiation tactics of how to do this stuff. Okay. And we're going step by step so you guys could understand it. Okay. This is important, okay? Do me a favor right now. If you're on stage, I want to get up to 30 shares. I need 6 more shares to get to 30 shares right now. Let's share this to your hallway right now. Put WIN. And for those of you who are in the listening lounge, hanging out, taking notes, I need 10 of you guys to raise your hand and get on stage. Janice, Dr. Cohen, I'm going to... we're going to share this with you guys so you guys can understand this math. And after we break this down, you're going to understand it. It's going to be a no-brainer because I like to break stuff down to where you'll be able to, if you can add and subtract, you'll understand why this is important when negotiation, when you're utilizing your negotiation tactics. Okay, so I need 6 more people to raise their hand and get on stage. We're not going to keep, I guess I'm going to have to wait. I need 6 people right now to raise their hand and get on stage right now. Okay, 6 more people if you guys want to understand this strategy. Okay. All right. I see. Okay. We need 1 more share and then we'll be at 30. And I need 4 more people to raise their hand and get on stage. I'm going to invite you guys up because we be talking about this information. People be coming in here and getting game and we can't even get people on stage. You do not have to speak, but I promise you, if you're listening to the words that are coming out of my mouth, you will be able to use this tactic to lower your monthly payment. Okay. And save a crap load of money. All right. Okay, Sierra, Hannah, can you bring the people up? Bring the people who have their hand raised on stage. Okay, all right. Don, go ahead. Okay, we got it.
All right. So $474.42 goes to principal. $2,604.17 that goes to interest. How much of that money helps you? The $2,604.17.
You gotta tell them how they came up with that number, brother.
All right. Well, when you subtract that $474.42 from your $3,000, that's what's left. $2,604.17. Here's how the bank does it. Now, if you want to know basically real quick how they do that, they take your interest rate, divide it by 12.
Pause right there. Hold on. You got to go slow, man, because I want people they're working through it. So you got to understand they can't see it. So we have to break it down so where people can.
Actually, if they're near a computer, they can go to Zoom right now and see everything.
No. I don't want to go to Zoom. I want to just keep it on Clubhouse. Okay.
Okay.
Let's just keep it on Clubhouse because I want people to work through this. Okay. So go ahead. 6.25 divided by 12. Go ahead.
6.25 divided by 12. All right. Then you take that number and multiply it by $500,000. What do you get?
Okay. Who wants to work that math right now? Okay. 6.25, which is your interest rate. You're dividing it by 12 because there's 12 months in a year. Okay. And then do what? What's next?
Then multiply it by your balance, whatever your balance is at the time. In this case, it's $500,000.
Okay. All right. So let's work through that. Who wants to go step by step? Okay, and go through this process. If you're on stage right now and you can add and subtract and divide, okay, we're going to give you an example. Who wants to be a volunteer right now?
I'll do it.
Okay, I'll do it?
This is Chef Lisi.
Chef Lisi. Okay, all right. So you want to learn, huh? That's why you want to do it. Okay, so let's go through this scenario. We're gonna put all of these scenarios in the chat right now, step by step. $500,000 purchase price. Follow me. Okay. Interest rate. Price. Okay. Interest rate. Rate at 6.25%. That's what you got your interest rate at. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Now, from that, what's next? Okay. So now I'm going to do what's
when you're putting it in your calculator. You either have to put in 0.06 or you put in 6 and hit the percent key. Either way.
6 and the percent key, man. To keep it simple, because when you start doing all of that other stuff, it's going to get complicated. So let's walk through this scenario. Okay.
Put in 6 and hit the percent key. Okay.
I wrote down 6.25.
6.25.
Yeah, okay. 6.25. All right. And hit the percent key.
I already did that. I have 3,125,000.
No, you did something. No,
You did
we're not
something
there.
wrong. See, that's the reason why I want to go step by step.
Step by step. Okay. So here's what we're gonna do. Hit
I'm sorry,
what,
30,000. I had an extra zero in there.
all right. So here's what we're gonna do. If you're working with me, I want you to work with me in this one. Okay.
Okay, pause right there. Pause. Okay. All right, here it is right here. Everybody put a 1 in the chat. Open up your calculator, okay? And I want every single person to do this with me. If you guys want to understand how this works, put a 1 in the chat because we're going to walk through this scenario step by step. You have to be able to get this. Put a 1 in the chat right now, and we're going to go step by step, okay? Put a 1 in the chat. We're going to go step by step. Okay. First step is going to be what?
6.25.
Okay, so you're going to put 6.25 in the calculator.
Okay. Hit the percent key.
Okay, percent. Hit the percent key.
Okay. What do you have, Anthony?
Okay, I don't have my calculator up.
Okay.
They're working it.
Somebody else tell me.
6.25.
521.
Okay, 6.25. Okay, divided by 12 is going to be 0.520.
No. That's not where we are,
Can
Anthony.
I help you?
Let me take them step by step, Anthony. Let me take them.
Okay, rock
Okay.
out, brother. I got
You
my
go-
calculator open now, so
uh,
I'm going to rock with you.
Very good. Very good. So you're going to take your 6.25, hit the percent key. What do you have?
0.0625.
There you go. Now divide that number by 12.
By 12 months equals
Right.
0.0052.
And a 8 and a bunch of threes. Okay. Everybody see that?
Yep.
Now we're going to multiply. This is the bank's magic number. If the interest rate is 6.25, this is the number the bank is using each month. This one, not the 6.25. They're using this. You follow me?
Yes.
Okay. Now they're going to multiply this by the unpaid balance, which is right now $500,000. So
500,000.
what is going to multiply by $500,000?
There is your interest number right there. $2,604.16.
16 cents, but it's 166. So what do you do with that first six?
Round it up.
Round it up. Okay. So now look at so your first interest payment on this loan is $2,604.17.
Bingo. Okay. All right. So here it is right here. Now, the reason why we're breaking this down, guys, is because we don't want you to using a calculator and actually doing it yourself. You're going to easier understand it if you do it yourself. When you do it yourself and you understand the math, then you can understand the amortization schedule. Okay. Okay. Keep going, Uncle Don.
Okay. So now you have the rest of that money, $474.42. If you subtract that from your 500,000, you're left with the principal balance of 499,525.58. Okay.
Okay. Now
So
pause right there. Pause right there. Let me tell you what he's doing. This basically what this means is that, okay, you have your principal balance of, you've got a loan for $500,000. Step one. Step two, your interest rate is at 6.25. Okay. Step three, 2604 is going to go to the bank for interest. Step four, $474 or whatever that 400 number is going to pay down to $500,000. So essentially the next month, okay, they're going to recalculate your interest again. So basically that magic number from your monthly payment, which was what? Did anybody remember? It should be at the top, the $474 that we had. What number was that? Anybody remember?
What you mean your principal payment?
Your principal payment, yes.
Your principal payment is 474.42.
So that means that so take 500. Now right here, this is the part that I want to break down so you guys can see. So you're going to take $500,000, okay? And then you're going to subtract the principal balance, the principal payment that you made, which was only $474. Okay, 0.42. And that's going to be your next, that right there is going to be, you minus that, you subtract that now, that's where you're at for your second month. Go ahead.
Okay, so now you're at 499,525.58. That's what the bank uses now to calculate your interest for the very next line, line 2. So we just do that same process all over again. So now, in essence, this becomes your new loan. So if we really stop and think about it, is it one loan, $500,000 times 6.25?
Nope.
Or is it 360 separate loans each and every month that they charge you?
Put a 1 in the chat if you understood that. Put a 1 in the chat if you understood that. Put a 2 in the chat if it's confusing.
Hi, Anthony. It's Chef Lisi. I'm so sorry to interrupt. I had an interruption at the property just now, and I wanted to know if do I need to watch the replays or can we quickly go over the example again? I'm pretty fluent on interest from my car payment, but I still want to use the concrete example for whenever I need reference.
We're gonna breeze through this really quick, real quick again. Okay. All right.
Thank
I'm
you.
going to break it down surface wise and we're going to run through the math one more time so you guys got it because I want you guys to understand. Okay. Number one, you get a loan for $500,000. Okay. Number two, you get qualified for an interest rate of 6.25 30-year fixed. We're only focusing on principal and interest. Your interest rate stays the same, so it's not fluctuating. Okay. Your principal balance, okay. Your principal means that you're paying down what you owe, which is the initial $500,000. Your interest payment is going to the bank. Your second month, when you pay again, you're still going to have to pay interest of the unpaid amount again. So that means that $474.42 that you paid down of the $500,000, because remember that your monthly payment, $2,600 of that is going towards what the bank gave you to borrow. Only $472 goes towards paying down what you owe.
Or you could look at it like this. Yes, pay me $474.42 towards your loan, and I will charge you $2,600 for the privilege.
Man, if that's a mind blower right now, put a 2 in the chat. If that blows your mind, put a 2 in the chat. Put a 2 in the chat. Isn't this crazy? Look, so guys, as you guys are borrowing money, now what we're going to do is we're going to run through this math again, guys. That way we're going to do it one more time for the people who are just getting here. This is sickening, man. When you look at buying a property and you get this interest rate, essentially what they're doing is they're charging you. You're thinking that you're paying off your house and you're paying off that interest. That's what you're doing. They're making a lot of money. Think about it. They're making $2,600 off of you borrowing that money, and you're paying down $472 in the first month. The second month is similar. The third month is similar. The fourth month is similar, right? So when you guys are negotiating your deal, put this in the chat because we're going to run through this math. Prepaid principal and lowering that freaking interest rate is the fundamental part of negotiation. Now, prepaid principal payments, because remember, if you're lowering what you borrow, you pay less what?
Interest.
Bingo.
Ooh-wee.
Man,
Hey,
Brother
Hey,
Don, I'm telling you to messed up, man, and show me this stuff, man, because this right here is guys, man, I'm telling you right now. I can't even explain why I didn't know this sooner. I was making extra payments towards the principal balance. And what I noticed is that the bank would always give me a hard time when I was doing that. They would just give me a hard time. Like, they would put the money in the escrow account and say, we don't know where to apply the money to. And you have to actually tell them where you want the money to be applied to. Okay. So this is an example. Let's go back to this scenario. Let me do a quick room reset because this is the last and final thing that we'll do, guys. You
so
guys are
Anthony,
yes.
Anthony, I'm so sorry. I have another
Oh,
appointment,
okay.
but as soon as I'm done, I'll be back.
Okay, all right. So we're gonna go through this math one more time. Okay. So I can
Did I see Ice on a podcast recently?
Yes, he was on my podcast, and then that's gonna come out. And this example, guys, we're gonna put the podcast link at the top. Can you change the let's see here, Sierra? Can you change the link to the podcast link, the SITREP podcast? This example, you're gonna be able to see the numbers, and we're gonna give you guys a free calculator to where you guys could see this because we did that podcast that's going to be dropping next week and you guys can subscribe to that. All right. We'll put that podcast at the top so you guys can understand this. But the fundamental piece with this part, guys, is that when you pay, okay, here's the math. Okay. So you're going to take the interest rate. All right. Let's run through it one more time. You're going to take the interest rate 6.25% percent, okay, and you're just going to put the percent sign. That's going to give you this number. This is the first step. 0.625. All right. Now you're going to take that. You're going to take that number, okay, and then divide by 12, which is 0.005 to 0.833. Okay. The examples in the chat. Sierra, can you run through this so people can see where we're at?
Sure.
Okay, put this in the chat. This is the number that the bank uses when doing your amortization schedule. If you take that number 0.0052 0.833, okay, and divide that by the loan amount. Multiply that times the loan amount. Then you're gonna get what your interest payment is. Okay, $2,604.16. Now, so that is going to be your actual interest payment for your first month. Now, when you go down to the next month, the bank does it again. Okay. So now what the bank does is that you're basically for that second month, you're going to take 500,000 and then subtract. Watch this. I'm going to do it real time. I'm going to take 500,000 and then I'm going to subtract the 474 from that 500,000. Okay. And then that's what I'm going to be for. Okay. I'm going to subtract 474.42. Okay. All right. Now I put that in the chat so you guys could do that. And then whatever that number is, you're going to do the exact same thing for the second month to see what your second month's interest is going to be. Now, the reason why we're showing you this stuff, guys, is because I'm going to do that real time. Okay. So $499 is going to be my loan amount for the second month. So let's see this. Let's walk through this scenario. So I'm going to do the same exact thing. Okay, for the second month, I'm going to see what my second month interest payments are going to be for the amortization schedule. So I'm going to take 6.25 and then I'm going to put the percent sign, which is going to be 0.0625. Okay. Now, can anybody tell me what my next step is going to be? Ellis already done put it in the chat. Okay, what's going to be my next step? Can anybody tell me? Ellis, can you explain what the next step's going to be?
Sure. What you do is you take the new loan balance, principal balance. You multiply that by the monthly interest rate, which is the 6.25 divided by 12. Was that the number?
Yep.
6.25 divided
Yep.
by 12. And that will give you what the interest portion of your next payment is. And I made a mistake on the first one. I transposed the numbers. It's 260170, not 206170.
So Chef, you
Yeah.
got it. Chef, you got it. Put a 1 in the chat. Chef, she's got it. Okay. So now this is how the bank amortizes your loan. So that means so that means that I've paid for my monthly payment that I've been paying on my property, that $800 is approximately $900 has gone towards my principal payment, and the bank has made, what is that? Almost $5,000 in interest payments. $5,000. Okay. So now let me explain what this means, guys. Okay, so you guys can understand this, and we'll do this. You guys need to go back and listen to the replays, because this is when you look at this is the reason why it is goofy to negotiate the purchase price down. Okay, I'm gonna put an example in the chat so you guys could see this. Okay, why either prepaying your principal payment down or utilizing this negotiation tactic. I'm going to cut and paste this into the chat right now. Boom. Okay. I just put an example in the chat of why it's important to actually talk to a mortgage professional and understand that lowering the purchase price isn't always the best thing to do. Utilizing, if I would have took that money and put that 10 grand up front towards prepaid principal, that would have saved me approximately $49,000. $49,000. Okay, and interest payments over a 5-year period. If I would have took that 10 grand, taken that money and put it towards the principal up front versus the actual lowering the monthly payment. Now, I'm gonna give you guys another example. If I utilize this $10,000 that I would normally use, okay, and buy my interest rate down to a 5.75 30-year fixed loan, my principal and interest will be $26.18. My principal and interest will be $29.18 per month versus the $3,079 per month if I would have utilized that to buy the interest rate down. Okay. So instead of me lowering my purchase price to a $490 on 10 grand, I take that 10 grand and buy the interest rate permanently down to a 5.75 30-year fixed. That's going to save me $161 monthly payment versus, $60 monthly. Which one do you want to save? $60 or you want to save the $161 per month? I would have had to lower my purchase price by $26,000. Okay, my offer price would have had to be $473,900 in order for me to equate to $161 monthly payment. So as we're talking about these things and you guys are negotiating on property, it's always better to either prepay your principal payment down, utilize that money towards prepaying your interest rate down, or prepaying principal payments versus lowering the monthly payment in negotiation. Anybody have any questions about those two strategies right there? Because we broke it all the way down shotgun style and gave you the math. Okay. Put a 1 in the chat if you thought that was really good information for negotiating. Chef, you got it. Chef, are you here?
Yes, I'm here. Thank you.
What did you think about that strategy? Did you understand this before?
Yes, I've been in several rooms with Don and listening to the pill method. And what I love about it is that I use the same strategy with a different quote unquote magic number when paying off my car loan. So when I went to the car lot, I had a car that was paid off. And so I drove off the showroom floor with a brand new SUV. The interest rate, had I had, Kelly sells cars by my side, probably would have negotiated a lower rate, but I talked to her afterwards and she gave me a formula and she said, this is what you're going to do every week. and we're going to take this, excessive amount year loan down to, a 2-year thing. We're not worried about the bank. So this is the formula, and that's what I do. And I call, sorry about that. I got a call. I call the bank and I let them know how to apply the payment so that the car goes down faster. The car loan is paid down faster by paying directly towards principal. So back to your original question. Yes, I love this. Cares if I heard it before. I'm new today and I'm learning it again today. So I think it's wonderful.
And guys, if you go back, I put an example of buying your interest rate down and then utilizing, strategic ways to prepay your principal versus, just negotiating. Most real estate professionals do not know this. This is the type of stuff. This is where, you become a hyena to a savage, man. All right. So for those of you who have questions, anybody have any value to add or any questions that they'd like to propose to the space as I do the final reset? Okay. Above my head, you will see my YouTube channel. For if you guys enjoy the conversation, I want you to hit the SITREP YouTube channel, click that link above my head, and subscribe to the YouTube channel and put a 1 in the chat after you've done it. What you're going to get there is you're going to see this example of how this breaks down, and you can go back and listen to the replays, and you can see my face right now rocking on the 1s and 2s and giving you this math. And what we'll do today is in the Facebook group, we will post a calculator so you guys could see this amortization schedule and an explanation of how it works. As you're buying or financing anything, you guys need to know this math. I don't care if it's uncomfortable. Okay. What I do know is that you're going to learn something that you can implement into your day-to-day activities regarding financing things, to where you're going to be able to break down and understand how the math works. Because if you don't understand the math, you just solely focus on either negotiating a lower purchase price, or you're going to be focusing on things that really are not really saving you money. But once you guys start to understand this stuff, then you'll get a better understanding of how this works. Are there any questions on stage before we do the final reset? Any questions? Outstanding. You guys are in the Realtor MLO Town Hall meeting. 10X Vets Explain. You'll see my YouTube channel at the top. Click the link. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Chef Sierra, Dr. Clarissa Darrell, thank you for subscribing to the YouTube channel. Let me go ahead and change this out, guys. If you missed it, you missed it. But let me tell you about an event that we have coming up here soon. Okay, 10xvets.org. Okay. All right. For those of you, if you're a realtor or you're a real estate investor or you're looking to partner with veterans, put a 1 in the chat. I want to know who's in the building. Okay, let me talk about this event we have coming up October 14th in sunny Southern California. We are hosting 10X Vets, okay? 10X Vets is a referral network for realtors that are looking to grow their business around veterans. Number one, veterans get tax-free housing allowance. If they have disability, they get income reoccurring for the rest of their life if they have disability. We're going to show you guys how we were able to build a empire surrounded around veterans and purchasing property. It's called 10X Vets. This is a partnership with Grant and Elena Cardone. For those of you who are interested in come on out here so you guys can learn how we were able to build our empire around veterans. And then also, they're going to be advertising for us. So these are going to be people that are buying property. If you want to become a referral-based agent or get certified to become a 10X Vets agent, hit that link above my head, subscribe, and you guys could see me teach about how to master the VA loan. Let me tell you what the itinerary is. Personal professional development for military spouses. So they're advertising to and for military spouses. Buy or build a business with and around veterans. And then the VA loan masterclass, which is I'll be teaching veterans how to become an investor with the VA loan. And then those leads will go out to agents that are certified through our program. So if you guys are interested in that, click the link above my head and get in the building. Are there any questions before we go ahead and land this plane for today? Dr. Ashley, are you here? Excuse me. Dr. Ashley, are you here? All right. Well, anybody have any other
So, hey,
questions?
Anthony,
Yes, sir.
were there any other questions? Were there any questions after I left that we need to handle, or is everything good?
No, sir. They actually got it, man. They're interested. And then, guys, the ice10k.com is how you can reach brother Don, and then also Anthony. How you can connect with me is either join the Facebook group. Okay, click my profile, follow me, because I do these rooms every Tuesdays and Thursdays, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Well, we have these rooms where we break down stuff like this. A Realtor MLO will be on Tuesdays and Thursdays. We'll do different topics, and then on Friday we also have Military Spouses Day with our staff. So make sure you guys follow all of the moderators that are here, and then I want you guys to have an amazing day on purpose. Does anybody have any questions before we close out this space? Any questions or any value to add to the conversation?
What time do you start this room, Anthony?
Okay, we do these rooms 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and on Friday we do 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Okay, we do these rooms Tuesdays and Thursdays are when we do the room. But if you hit my profile and give me a follow, you'll be able to pull up. And then we usually give little nuggets. Okay, let me tell you some of the stuff we talk about. Trust, explain. Matter of fact, for the 41 people here right now, I'm going to ask you guys, can y'all do me a favor? What do you guys want us to talk about on Thursday? What do you want us to unpack? Trust, hiring your kids, increasing your production. What do you guys want us to talk about? Put it in the chat because we want to hear from you, because we don't want to just have directed rooms. We want to have members in the Winning Real Estate House, what you guys want us to talk about. So drop it in the chat right now, what you guys like us to unpack on increasing production. Cheryl, I got you. Okay, anybody else? Increasing production. Matter of fact, tomorrow in the Mortgage Syndicate, Cheryl, I'll do that in the Mortgage Syndicate, increasing your production as a real estate professional. So pull up tomorrow, and I'll rock the mic in the Mortgage Syndicate. I'll be in there tomorrow rocking the mic, talking about increasing your production and how to build your business up. Okay. Anybody else? Anything else?
I'm going to be live tomorrow at 7 a.m. Central, 8 a.m. Eastern on Clubhouse, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn.
Outstanding, Brother Don. Well, thank you guys for pulling up, man. Phenomenal room. Okay, we're going to go ahead and close out. Thank you guys for pulling up. Click the link above my head. Register for that event. It is free. Get a VIP ticket, because it might be some VIP people that you're going to be able to talk to. Right now, we only have 1,000 seats available. They're starting the marketing next week for this event. You want to get your seats, click the link above my head. Come on out here to sunny Southern California and register so you guys can hang out with us. And then, okay, Daryl, we got you using your equity to invest in real estate. I got you, brother. Anybody else have any questions for the space before we shut down? Any closing remarks from the moderators? Outros, mods, go ahead and kick it. Any outros? Brenda, Sierra, Hannah, Catherine, any outros?
Hey, this is Brenda Dixon out of Wilmington, North Carolina. I am a 10X vet realtor here servicing veterans in North Carolina. Been a realtor professional for the last 32 years full time. Definitely, veterans are a part of my heart. I was a military brat myself. My father was in the Army for 22 plus years. And then my daughter, my only child, my daughter is married to a Marine and a young bride. And I'm certain with her getting used to moving around, from I think they're on this second location right now. And of course, it's so helping military spouses to keep their sense of self and having something to do while they support, while she support her husband is very important to me. So, I love all things veterans, and really happy to be a part of this community and to continue to serve. Thank you.
Magnificent.
This is, yep,
Go,
yep.
go ahead, Hannah.
This is Hannah right here in sunny Southern California. Thank you, Anthony, for this fantastic conversation today. I'm so proud to be part of the 10X Vets team here in San Diego on the real estate side, and I'm a military spouse. Love this conversation, especially breaking down the numbers and making it easy for everybody to understand, and the discussion about where Warren Buffett is investing and talking about housing. Such a powerful discussion today. Thanks, Anthony.
Outstanding, guys. And really appreciate you guys for pulling up. Man, I'm going to tell y'all this before I close out. I do not feel well, but I know I got to show up. Okay. I'm having some really, really bad allergy problems. And if you can tell, my voice is gone. But I know I got a question for you. How do you show up when you want to, my message is bigger than how I feel. Okay. I know that I got to show up. I know that I have to commit myself to being out here and kicking this information that I know is going to reach someone. So I really appreciate you guys pulling up and supporting me each and every day. Hopefully my voice will be back tomorrow. Okay. I'm working through it, but I know that I gotta be, I know I have to show up. I know I have to be here. And regardless of how I feel, I know that the people are more important than the profit. And nobody cares about how you feel. You know what? Because your voice will be heard. And I promise you, for those of you who continue to support, wait till they start the advertising. Okay. I am committed. I have committed myself to showing up Tuesdays and Thursdays. I commit myself to show up each and every day because I know that I'm going to say something to someone that's going to change everything in their life. And for that, I want to say thank you for showing up today. Thank you for giving the shares. And hey, go crush your Tuesday. Okay. Have an amazing day.